is love. Love in this place. Whenever two or more of us gathered in His name, I thought the world is all the same.
A pleasant night, or good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. Welcome to another episode of Level Up Your Marriage with Paul and Raquel Blake. And tonight is really a very special night. We started Level Up Your Marriage in January, and now we are at December. So we are actually celebrating a year of Level Up Your Marriage, and that is exciting, and we are looking forward to seeing what this ministry can be. We have had a lot of feedback this year, the months, the weeks that we have been doing this program. Very positive feedback, and we are looking forward to doing even greater things in 2025. So, Level Up Your Marriage is going places, and we are looking to grow our audience. Tonight will be a fun, laid back night. We're not necessarily diving into anything serious or too strenuous, but we will just have some conversations. Same thing about marriage and relationships, and we will just look at some of the fun stuff. So we'll be talking to some people. We'll be having a conversation with our special guests. We probably about around 8 o'clock, somewhere along that line. But we will be having the discussion up to that point, speaking and looking at some of the things that we would have covered the year, and probably be getting some feedback from our audience also about what was their favorite topic to discuss, what they found useful. And so Level Up Your Marriage is here tonight. This is our final program for this year, by the way. So we will end tonight, and then we will pick up in January, the first and third Friday in January, and we do that every month. 2 programs every month discussing some relevant topic to marriage and relationships, and especially marriage and relationships from a Christian perspective. Level Up Your Marriage is really a Christian ministry, and everything that we do, everything that we discuss, we try our best to make sure that we stay within the ambit of the scriptures, so that this ministry can give God honor and glory. Marriage is a very important institution to God. Marriage and family, 2 of the most important institutions to God outside of His church. And so we want to look at marriage and family the way that God sees it, to give Him honor and glory. Welcome, Raquel.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, happy to be a part of such a wonderful program. And that, you have been a good co-host
So
all these 12 months. So we're excited that, God has blessed us from January to December, where we have been on for the majority of the time, hoping that we have made a positive impact on the listeners and those who have shared, and that people will continue to support this ministry, as we are definitely about leveling up our marriages, leveling up, giving information, giving tips and tools, so you can empower your mind, and we can also help to empower our own marriage.
Yes.
So this evening, as Paul says, it's going to be light. It's going to be fun, inspiring, and delightful. The topic or theme is that it's about salute to couples, and as Paul said, we are going to have a special guest on at 8 o'clock.
Two special
Two
guests.
special guests. Oh yes, 2 special guests. We'll have a couple on at 8 o'clock, who join in the fun and you learn a little bit about them. And of course, I guess you will also continue to learn a little bit more about us.
Yes.
So, and also for those who are listening, as Paul always say, whether you're in Zimbabwe or England or in the Caribbean or in USA or right here in Jamaica, we want you to feel free to participate. In you make your comments, questions. As usual, we'll provide our email address if you want to be a part of
Newsletter.
our
Yes,
newsletter.
we have a newsletter.
Yes.
We have a newsletter that goes out every week, and if you want to be on that email list, please feel free to type your email in the chat or send us a message at our email address, and I'll definitely add you to that email list so that you can receive weekly information. We send out articles on marriage and relationship every week, and we also have a Facebook page that I post a weekly encouragement on marriage and relationship. So follow us on Facebook. There's also an Instagram page. Yes, Level Up Your Marriage also has an Instagram page.
Yes, so we're going places, right?
Follow us also on Instagram. Everything that is in our weekly newsletter, you will also find excerpts of it either on Facebook or on our Instagram page. So follow us, and I am sure that you will have some very vital information that will help you to build your relationship, to grow your marriage, and to also give honor to the Almighty God. Before we get into our fun and games and discussion, Raquel, what was your favorite topic of discussion?
My favorite topic, the one about spark. How to keep the spark.
Oh, to keep the spark, yes,
alive,
keeping the spark alive. I kind of knew that would be your favorite topic. I kind of knew that.
I think that was the one when we had on Steve and
Yes,
Natalie.
when Natalie and Steve came on,
Leslie.
igniting, keep the fire burning. Yeah, that was a good discussion.
Yes.
That was really good discussion. There was much to learn.
And as we are saluting couples tonight, we just want to send a shout out and a salute to Steve and Natalie Leslie.
Steve and Natalie Leslie, two of our good friends who are in the States.
Yes.
And been married for how long again, Raquel?
18 years.
18 years, yes.
18
They got
years.
married a year before us.
Yes.
So 18 years. So wherever Steve and Natalie are, big up. God bless you all. And
Yes.
keep the fire burning.
Yes.
My favorite discussion was the one on conflict. I think probably because of the feedback that came from it, and I think that was a kind of twofold discussion, because we actually had that discussion on the radio program that Brother Kidu and myself do.
Yeah.
And we got tremendous feedback from that topic. And when we did it on Level Up Your Marriage, there was also a significant feedback from it. And I think a lot of persons got new insight into how to manage conflict. And also that not to be afraid of conflict, because I think that's one of the things that
one of the takeaway that people committed on. People were always hesitant, and saw conflict as something to run away from,
a bad thing, and to avoid it like the plague, right? And I think a lot of persons would have gotten insight in that particular discussion, that conflict is really a part of life.
Yes.
And it's not the conflict that is bad. It is how we manage the conflict that makes the difference.
Definitely.
Right? Conflict can either enhance or destroy our relationships. And I think a lot of persons got important insight.
Yes.
into that. Brother Dexter, you ready to join us? Because I would want to hear from Brother Dexter, what was your favorite topic, Brother Dexter, in our discussion?
And those who, while he's coming on, those who are listening, those who are on YouTube or on Facebook, you can just drop in the chat your favorite topic. And while we do that, we also want to just send out salute to the couples out there. We have another friend, Nadine and Wayne Palmer. They just celebrated their anniversary, 25 years. So we want to wish them well and congratulate them on 25 years.
Yes, they should have been on tonight, but Wayne is down with the flu. I was really looking forward to having them. Wayne is one of my best friends. Wayne and I have been friends for over 30 years. We went as far as from primary school. We went to primary school and we went to the same high school and ended up living in the same community. So we have been friends for over 30 years. So it would have been really special to have my friend on discussing, having our discussion of fun and games and looking at what marriage is. Brother Dexter, what was your favorite discussion?
Good evening, my brother. Good evening. I can't recall the topic itself though, but I could remember the couple.
Yeah,
Not I think it's Natalie,
Natalie and
Yeah,
Steve.
that's was
Natalie
my
and
favorite
Steve.
one too. Yes.
I don't know something about their aura, and how they presented themselves. To
Yes.
me, it was just exciting. You could see a spark. You could see the fire burning within
That
them.
was the topic, and that was the topic, about maintaining the spark, igniting the spark.
Yes,
Something about spark. And you're right. We saw that.
And interesting, what you saw uh, in that discussion that night, that is actually who Steve and Natalie are. You whatever you got what they are, right? So there was no putting on of frills or anything. They were just who they were, and I think they were very comfortable in
yeah,
that
very,
discussion.
very, very comfortable. And one of the things that struck me about them is the fact that they have been married for so long,
Yes,
and their presentation and the way they dealt with each other, they look like a couple who were just newlywed.
yes,
I
true,
will
true.
and I will never forget that they talked about taking a shower together every morning. Every morning they do that together,
Yes,
and
yes,
that was very, very interesting to me.
yes. Yeah, we can't have a marriage discussion, brother Dexter and sister Giselle, without mentioning one of our favorite couples here in Jamaica. God bless Brother Walker's soul. He died a few years. He died right at the beginning of COVID, and he died when he was about 90 something years old. But he and his wife, Sister Olive Walker, they were married for over 50 years. They got married very young and were married for over 50 years. And I honestly believe that if I were to have an example of what marriage and relationship was, brother and sister Walker would represent that. They were a lovely, lovely couple. And one of the things that always impressed me with brother Walker is how he treated his wife. He treated his wife as she was 16 years old. And I mean, when he came, when they came to the church building on a Sunday morning, even when he was not able to move around as he wanted, because being at that age, he was very, very slow and very shaky and all of that, and he would not come into the church building without first seeing that Sister Walker comes out of the vehicle, and he holds her hand and he shuffles himself and her into the church building, and he's going to pull her seat and wait until she sits down, and before he takes his seat.
Yeah.
And she always referred to him as her little boyfriend. She always referred to him as her little boyfriend, and they treated each other with such tenderness, and you know they were always involved in having some kind of conversation between them, and that for me was something extraordinary.
And as you say that they had such a good sense of humor.
Yes,
Because
yes.
for part of making marriage work is that we have to have some, the funny bone have to be working because
Well, that's a topic for 2025.
the power of humor in enhancing your marriage.
That might be our first topic for 2025. The power of humor.
Yeah.
Would be a very interesting one.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
I
go
would have
ahead.
loved to have met brother Walker.
Yes, man. He was a gentleman, and that's what I want. Yeah, he was indeed a gentleman, and not only it was not only in his relationship, but that was how he treated everybody. He treated everybody with humanity. I think that was something that set him apart from everybody else. Nobody for him was poor or rich or educated or uneducated. He treated everybody the same way, with love and respect. And I think that is what made him such an exceptional human being. And Sister Walker was just as sweet.
She's still as sweet.
And still as sweet because she's still alive. But a very tender, soft spoken person. I've never heard in all the years I've known Sister Walker, I have never heard her raise her voice.
Mhm.
She just speaks very softly, and this was a woman who was not afraid to correct you either. She's a woman that, I mean, if you do something and you need correcting, she's going to pull you aside and correct you, but she's going to do it in the most gentle way, that you are able to listen. And so, we need more people like these around, especially in marriage. Pauline says he treated her like she was a baby. Yes, he was so protective and indeed a gentleman, and that's very true. That's very true. That's very true. Right.
That to me is a perfect example of what a husbands and wives should be like, and what it should be
True.
like. It should be fun. It should be exciting. The other day we went to drop Kamari to school, and on our way back to the vehicle, I opened my wife's door for her, and by the time I got to the other side, she leaned over and opened mine for me. And let me tell you,
Hey,
I felt good because
man, you
these
melted
were
the
things,
truth.
yeah, these
You
were things that
melted.
I did when we were at the inception of our courting stages and all of that. And I still try my best to do it as often as I can. And when I did it that day and she responded the very same way she did back in the days, it just melted my heart.
Ah,
I just felt good.
thumbs up to you, Sister Giselle, and to you, brother. Excellent.
But let me ask you though, and I want Sister Giselle's input on this. What is the best thing about being married?
What is the best thing?
About being married?
Hmm.
Hmm.
There's so
Let's
many
keep on
things.
thinking. All right.
Well, the way that he shows his love for me,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's one of the best things.
Oh,
Right. Excellent.
that's Brother Dexter. How do you show your love for
No, you
her?
can't talk all of those things on here. It's okay.
Huh?
That's a
Well,
secret.
I could say a few, not everything, but
That's right.
I try to cook for her at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't do it every day, but I do it frequently enough, to show my appreciation. And whenever I do cook for her, she always enjoys it.
Yes, and considering that she's still alive, that means that you're doing something good.
I I I, I am actually good in the kitchen,
Yes, he is.
Congrats, congrats.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, Paul is actually good in the kitchen too. I told him I didn't marry him for his looks only.
Yeah, I tend to love the kitchen. I love cooking. I don't like doing it every day though, but it's not something that I mind doing. I
Yeah.
kind of the idea of cooking a meal for somebody that you love, not only just Raquel but even Timothy and so. I kind of like doing that kind of thing. It's part of my love language. So yeah, and I like gardening and so forth. I like keeping the yard in a way that is attractive, so that Raquel can go out and boast about her flowers. And she goes and tell all of her friends about her flowers and plants at home that she has never planted
Yes,
any.
so tell him that phone has
I love that you love the kitchen too, because when I'm in the kitchen, especially when I'm cooking for my family,
Hmm.
I put my heart into it.
Yeah.
I don't just cook. To me, it's like I'm creating something
all
that
right.
I'm hoping that my family will love. And whenever I cook, I always look for the expression.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
true, true,
they always love it.
true. Yes. Yeah, there is something about somebody appreciating what you have done in terms of cooking that makes it, no matter how tired you want to go back and do it again.
Yeah.
Yes. But here's a question. Here's another question for you though. In how long you have been married again, Giselle and
13
Dexter?
years. 13
13 years.
years?
13 years?
12 years.
13
12
in two
years.
weeks' time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, happy anniversary again.
Is there any person or persons who would have influenced your view of what marriage is? Anybody in the church who you have looked at as an example, positive example to emulate?
You want to go first?
I should go.
Well, honestly speaking, there weren't many couples that I looked up to as an
Hmm.
example, because there were many of them that were going through a lot of turmoil in their marriage and relationship.
Hmm.
However, one brother really was the one who inspired me a lot, and that is Brother Murchison Alexis, from Trinidad.
Hmm.
He was the one who counseled us, and he shared so many things with us that enable us to keep that marriage knitted together nicely, how to deal with conflicts, and solve the problems before they turn into something gigantic. So he was basically one of the brothers that I would look up to. I looked up to at the inception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
What has been the most challenging thing about being married?
Hmm.
Well, see, brother Dexter, before you think about that, I would want to rephrase it. We talk about tonight being fun, inspiring, and delightful. So I would want to say, what's a favorite memory of something that you have done together? I don't know if Giselle might
What's
be
the
able to,
question?
if she wants to
Repeat
take
again.
that one. What's your favorite memory of something that you have done together?
Hmm.
You will notice she's pretty shy, yeah? But I will go first. Probably that will help, jog her memory. But for me, it would be traveling.
Okay.
We migrated to Nevis. We spent 5 years there. We had to start all over again, and that to me was very interesting. We met new friends, and we created a life for ourselves on that island.
Hmm.
It's much smaller than Dominica, but the memories that we have there, it's precious, priceless.
Okay.
I would agree.
No, don't agree. You have to
Yes.
say something. You have to say something that.
That's I agree.
So you have lived in Trinidad in Nevis and now Bonaire?
Yes, we lived as a couple in
St. Kitts and
Nevis, St. Kitts
Nevis.
and Nevis for 5 years.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We only spent 1 month in Trinidad before we moved to Bonaire.
Okay, okay, okay. Wow, interesting. So you're sojourners.
Yes.
Yes, yes. And that's one of the things that, I love about my wife, because wherever, I go, she's willing to take that journey with me, and she's fully supportive. So throughout the years, we have cultivated memories in multiple islands, and that we have visited. So you
Hmm.
can see, we are a traveling family.
Yeah, and I know Bonnier is probably not your last stop either.
I, I would like it to be, though, because we do have children,
Yeah.
and constantly moving them from country to country,
Mhm.
school, it becomes a little bit hectic.
Okay. Well,
So we are hoping to spend a few years here, at least until the children are through with school.
oh, okay. Well,
I
we
To
don't
me,
know.
I'm a sojourner. I love to travel, so
We
who
don't know
knows?
what
In the
God
next
has
10
in
years, I may
store.
go again.
Jamaica might be a stop. Who
I,
knows?
I, I really want to visit Jamaica. I really want to visit Jamaica.
Yeah, you guys have to come to Jamaica once. You know where to find us. We are
Yes,
here.
we,
We'll
we
keep
will
you
start. We're
updated.
gonna start saving up to do some trips, because there are some places I really would like to visit. Jamaica is
Mhm.
one on my list. Really like to visit Jamaica, because I've been to about 14 or 15 Caribbean islands
Oh wow.
over the years. So I really like to visit Jamaica, and I have quite a few friends up there as well.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So if we don't meet you in Bonaire, we'll meet you in Jamaica.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yes. We have about what 4 minutes. Carry on
We
and Percival. Well, they're on.
On already.
they're on already. Yes.
Yeah. But you know
So
what? One of the things I find interesting is that we have not met physically. We have not met each other physically, but it seems like we have known each other for years.
that is what, when there is that spiritual connection,
Yes.
you don't have
Yeah.
to meet in person to develop that relationship.
True.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. What's that brother's name? Reckon that we met in Aruba. What is his name
Richmond.
again?
Richard,
Richmond.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Richmond.
I remember meeting him in Aruba, man, and he spoke highly of Brother Dexter, man.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. That's one of my favorite brothers down here. He told me personally that I'm his mentor, so I have to do my best.
Yeah.
Definitely have to do my best.
Yes. Well, the discussion has been very very good.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Thank you for
And
having us.
Oh,
no
thank you for
problem,
having
no
us too.
problem.
Though we just want to pause to recognize and thank you and your family, for helping us to host this program and for the constant support. So we want
No
to say
problem.
on air, thank you, and may the Lord continue to bless your work, your ministry, and your family.
You're most
Thank you,
Amen.
welcome.
Sister Giselle, who don't like to show her face on camera, but thank you, Sister Giselle, for showing up tonight.
Next time.
And you have been doing well when Brother Dexter is absent.
Yes,
Thank
At,
you.
at,
yes.
at master control.
Are you?
Yes,
I
sir.
know.
All right, wonderful. All right, it's time to bring on our special people. We have with us tonight uh, Percival Cunningham and Kerry Ann Cunningham, two people who are very dear to us, who have been married for, well, we have been married for 17, there are 20,
21.
21 years.
I hope I got that right.
Yes, we were. Well, I hope you got it right. We were at their wedding. I remember that day as just as it was yesterday. And Percival and Kerrian are two of our dearest friends, and not only friends, but they are also family. Right? And we will dive a little bit into the family connection in a bit. But we want to bring them on into the discussion and get to know. Well, we will not get to know them because we know them. What we want our audience to get to know this wonderful couple, and to allow our audience to know and to appreciate the fact that marriage still works.
Yes.
Right? A lot of persons today present marriage as doom and gloom,
Hmm.
but we want to present the side of marriage that says marriage is workable, and not only is it workable, but it is also enjoyable. Right? It is healthy and wonderful,
That's right.
and something that we should be looking forward to. Right?
I agree.
First of all, Karen,
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you for having us.
Yes, man, we are indeed elated,
Yes.
happy to have you on in our discussion. So we're going to get right into it. Get it right into it. Any one of you can answer. What has been your favorite memory of something that you have done together since you have been married 21 years and counting?
A favorite memory would be kind of rough.
Is it so
I,
many?
I yeah, yeah, actually it is. I am about experiences.
Mhm,
I like doing stuff together. And so there are lots of times that I can think of that would have been important to me, that were be memorable, and so on. So it's kind of difficult to pick out one time that was most memorable, and
mhm.
so, and we try to continue to create memories. Continue to try doing stuff together. So it's kind of hard to pick out a one, and I don't think I want to pick one. But um, I like our anniversaries. I like our
Same.
anniversaries. We try and do stuff together for our anniversaries, try and get away for a little bit. And so we do dates. We still try to do dates from time to time and things. And spending time together, yeah, just the two of us is always a special thing. So
Yes,
I don't want to
yes.
cheat it and give any one, but I'll allow Carrie Ann to see if she can narrow it down to one.
Oh, no, no, no. I can't narrow it down to one.
Can you not, you can't narrow it down, carry on to anyone?
No, not to anyone, not to anyone. But as Percival said, I enjoy our anniversaries when we go to different hotels and the children are not there. We
Not that we don't like the
not a-
children.
we do, but we explore. We do different things when we go on our anniversary zip line, or we may explore different
Mhm.
we're a picture taking family, so we take lots of pictures. And
Yes,
so one
yes.
our anniversary and or date nights. I'm not copying off your paper. But
Someone like to
and
copy of your paper.
and and our evenings when we put on music, when we put on music, and kids are going to bed and we just put on music, old music, and we listen to them, and I say, you remember this one when we were there? You remember this one? Or you remember this one? And yeah, those are some of my favorite memories.
Yes. I'm picking up something that I want to jump on it and ask you how important it is.
Hmm.
One of the things that and we know you personally, but what role does friendship hold in your relationship?
Oh,
You
that's
can
a
answer
very
first.
significant. That's very
The person
significant
to
for
answer
me.
first, but you can answer first.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can answer first. You can answer first.
okay.
Don't let me
How
hold you back.
important how important is friendship in the relationship?
It's significant for me. Kira and I were friends way long before we became involved, and
Hmm.
so what that allowed is we got to know each other without the trying to impress, without trying to pretend and to be pretentious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were friends before, and
Hmm.
like my go-to guy. And when I get home from work or so, or whatever's happening in my life, he'd be who I'd call and share this experience with. And so
Hmm.
that friendship is very important in our relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell people that I married my friend. I married my friend.
Yeah. I
And I tell
always hear that
them,
statement. Always hear
yes,
that
yes,
statement.
yes, I married my friend, and I try to tell that to the children as well. That's
Yes.
it's friendship is important. It's a good
Hmm.
foundation to build on. Like Harry said, you don't have a lot of the pressures that trying to be in a relationship puts on at that point. So
Mm-hmm.
you start out pretty casual, and you get to know each other. You see each other in different situations and so on. And that getting to know you period comes without the pressure of trying to make her my girlfriend, or she trying to make me her boyfriend, or the pressure of that. So you're just being friends, and you find things that you enjoy together. You find things that you like doing together, and it forms a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And then that now blossoms and blooms and gets to something else. But that foundation that you built on is always there. It's always there, and it's always a good reference point, because you have things in common. You know that you have things that you share and you enjoy together, and things that make for a good relationship without having gone into a relationship at first. Just the
Mm-hmm.
friendship is a
Yeah.
good foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because even with Raquel and myself, Raquel and I were friends long
Yeah.
before we started even looking at each other to date each other.
Right.
And I think that is one of the elements that has kept us together because there is always that place of friendship to come back to. And
Right.
Yes.
I don't think you can ever lose that. When you're genuine friends with somebody, it's not something that you lose.
Right.
It's something that you try to maintain all the time. And I think that I have been, as a marriage counselor, and doing marriages and so forth. It's one of the elements that I emphasize that, the relationship is there and the marriage is there, but you have to maintain friendship.
Yes.
Friendship is very, very important. Very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, people worry about what happens when the children leave or whatever. When we figured out we'll just go back to where we were in the beginning. We just go back to where we were in the beginning. We had something good when it started out, and we
Yeah,
have that to go back to.
yeah,
It wasn't just the marriage. It started with our friendship, and that friendship will always be there. So we'll always have that to go back to.
yes.
Um,
Wonderful,
and then,
wonderful, wonderful.
That's a wonderful takeaway. That's one of somebody. I think Brother Dick says sometimes that's a good nugget. That you just dropped there. That's a very good nugget, and we're gonna write it down because even that's such an important principle that when the children leaves, you have the friendship, you go back to it and you continue to enhance it and to develop it because
Yeah.
really that's where it all started. You
yeah,
know, that's where it all
on
started.
on one of our past programs, I actually brought out that if you look on the statistics for divorce, a lot of persons get divorced when the children leave home
okay,
because when you're growing the child or children, the both parents are focusing on growing the children,
yeah,
and a lot of times the attention that you're supposed to be paying each other, you don't. And when those children leave, you have two virtual strangers in the house because
Yeah.
because nothing was been done to maintain the relationship. All the focus was just on the children. So
yeah,
when they leave, you have two virtual strangers who, if they can't rediscover each other, then it's going to end in the relationship.
you know,
yeah,
and we talk about the fact that a good lesson for the children too is that they understand that when it's date night for mommy and daddy, it's date night. So
Yeah.
you're spending time to each other. You're also teaching them a lesson in terms of when they are ready to form their relationships.
Yes.
That mommy and daddy are important. Having children is important, but you have to. It's necessary to take care of your marriage and to take care of each other's needs and interests.
Yeah.
yeah, man. It's good that I mean, Kerry talks about playing music, and we love music, so we listen to music together. We like watching movies and TV, and we take time to do that together. We like going out and eating food, so we try and do that together. And so we
Yeah,
like spending time with friends, and so we do that
do
together.
that
But
together.
so
Hmm.
there are things that you can do together, things that don't cost you any money, things
That's
that
true. Very
you know
true. Very true.
are not, you don't have to break the bank to do it together, and
Yeah.
it keeps things going
Together.
because you're spending time to do it, and if it's just
Together, right?
half an
Together.
hour, something, you know, it's a part of the whole friendship thing.
Yes.
Um, Another aspect of it is certainly our Christianity, so our faith is a part of the bond. So we were friends at church. So that was a part of it. So
Yeah.
we came into this relationship as Christians and thing, and that continues to be a part of the bond as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to church and thing. One you talk about memories. Kerry, I'm not a extrovert. That's Kerry Ann. She's the person and everything. I'm person in the background,
Mhm.
but she would encourage me to preach, and she would encourage me to write, and encourage me to share and that kind of thing, because she saw something and she believed. I don't know what she said, but she said she saw something. You know? She started wearing glasses now, so not sure how clearly she seen, but but she would encourage me, and so we would go to church events together, and you guys would remember. I mean, that was a big part. We traveled all over the country
Preaching
Yes,
together.
yes,
attend lectureships and concerts and art fest, song fest,
Songfest.
and all
Confess,
these other
yeah.
things, camps
Camps.
and everything, and that is a part of the friendship as well, because we had that Christianity in common and thing, and then so that bond is there. And I
yes.
mean, so she's my wife, she's my friend, she's my church sister and thing. So there's a lot there that continues to hold us together, you know.
Yes.
So the element of marrying somebody who's like-minded is also very important,
Very important. Yes.
right? That you one person can't be going east and the other one going west. Right?
Yes, yes.
That is also important. So many nuggets.
Yeah. Just to add to that, I I believe that at the core, just
Hmm.
to kind of at the core of it, you both have to be similar.
Yes,
Important.
yes,
He may not be the extrovert as I am, and he may not like to go out, and that's peripheral. That's the fringe. But at the core,
hmm,
where our dependence or our faith in God is
yes.
similar, or how we feel about family, how we feel about
Values and so.
Values and
values, definitely at the core we must be on the same path.
yeah.
Yes, true. Very true. Very true.
Yes. So that sounds like, one of the other question we wanted to ask throughout you is to tell us how you stay married. I think you just answered that one, right?
Yes.
How you
Yeah.
stay
The
married.
core. The
The
core.
core, the core. So um who
Who's better at cooking?
yeah, who's better at cooking? We wanted to try a little.
No,
Okay.
it's not me. It's not. I don't like the kitchen. Outside of going there to get food, I stay out to the kitchen. And so
All right. It's
cooking is not my thing. So, so
But
I,
you do it if you have to.
yeah, if I have to, I try not to have to, and she tries
And
to ensure that I don't have to.
you really have to.
You know, it's a rare occasion, a
well,
rare occasion.
because on Mother's Day, he definitely sees the most times he sees to that. On
That's
Mother's
right.
Day,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah,
have
yeah.
to cook for
The
breakfast.
couple, exactly. So before you joined, we were talking to
Brother
Dexter
Dexter
and his
Sister
wife,
Giselle.
and he was making the point that when he cooks, that's one of the things that he does to show his wife that he, have of his love and his care for her, and he really does put his all into it. So Kerry mentioned that on Mother's Day you make sure that if
Yeah.
you're not the one who cook it, there's something that you have gone extra mile to make sure that there's something special for her to eat, right? So
Yes.
that's a plus. That's a plus. That's a plus. So what about the ironing? Who is good at that? We want to mix it up a little bit. So we have a question about, but just fun.
Yeah, Kiri's good at ironing. He's good at ironing. Yeah, he's way better at ironing than I am. I won't even lie about that or pretend. Yeah, no shame there.
Not that I like it.
He's better at it.
That's not one of the things we enjoy doing, but
No,
we do what we have
have
to.
to.
We do what we have
That's
to.
right.
Have
Same here. Same here. We do what we have to. And one of the points that that is coming out of this is that it's okay, that you have a strength, you have an area that you don't like. You pull on each other's strengths,
Yeah,
you pull on each other's strengths, and of course you make do with it as well,
yeah.
So which strength would you want to give up? Is that you don't want to give up Karen? Would you want to give up the cooking? And Kerry, would you want Percival? Would you want to give up the ironing? Or Which one would you want to give up?
No, I would
If
want
the
to give up the cooking. The cooking is I enjoy cooking for my family. I enjoy them.
okay.
No, not the cooking. Everything else.
Is
Everything else.
everything
Everything I
else.
know. Okay, I don't want to do no ironing. But I do it because I know I have to. But no.
Yes.
Hmm.
What do you want to
Yeah.
give?
No, if I had to give up something, it would be cooking. So I've already given it up.
The thing that him don't do
But
already, him want to
exactly.
give
Give it
We
up.
give it up
That's why I
already.
don't do it. I give it up already.
Yeah.
All
So
right. I like that one. I like that one.
how do you keep God at the center of your marriage, of your relationship?
Hmm.
um, so I pointed out that we came into the relationship as Christians.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably the key because he's center for each of us. So he's my center and he's her center. And so inevitably, because he's the center of both our lives, he becomes the center of the marriage. Because who we are in the marriage is determined by who he wants each of us as individuals to be.
mhm.
And so it changes, it channels our perspective, our approach to things. You guys were talking about conflict earlier and dealing with conflict.
Hmm.
We are aware that God has an expectation of how it is that we should treat with each other, how we should
Yeah.
treat relationships, how we should treat with disputes and quarrels. And so one of the things, Carrie Ann will not go to bed angry. We'll have to stay up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to sort it out. But we sort it out because he will not go to bed and carry
Unresolved.
the issue
Yes,
unresolved
yes,
and thing. And so we bring that. So I will think twice before I say certain things. I will think it through because I'm aware that my words have power and that they have an influence
and
and
you
thing.
want to
I
sleep.
can't take it back when it comes out. It's harder to take it back when it comes out. So a lot of the Christian principles are in us as individuals, and we are aware of who God wants us as individuals to be.
Mhm.
And then now we bring that into the marriage. So now I'm not just husband, I'm a Christian husband. I'm not just a father, I'm a Christian father. And the same is there for Carrion. And so inevitably, he's there in the midst of it. He's there in the midst of it because of the fact that he's there with each of us as individuals.
Yes,
I-
yes,
and to add to that, you see, I'm very aware. We're very aware that we do not live unto ourselves. We have to give an account to somebody, to God.
To God.
We're not
Yeah.
free. We're not free to behave however we want to behave and
yes,
remain as is. We recognize that. I mean, even if you feel a certain way and you realize that, we are very aware that, okay, well, what does the Lord expect of you? And
yes,
you adjust as quickly as you can because we want to be pleasing to Him. We want to continue to be pleasing to Him.
yes,
My
true.
new, my new, my new, or not so new, but my motto or what I'm living on is choosing God's way every day or choosing God
Yeah,
every day. So
yes, true.
in how I deal with people, how I respond to conflict, how I deal with the children, I'm choosing God's way every day. That's what I'm committing to living.
Mm.
How I'm
You
committing to live.
I was discussing with a couple yesterday in marriage counseling, and I was looking at the passage in Ephesians chapter 5.
Yeah. Mhm.
And many times when we use that passage, we begin at verse 22. But it just dawned on me yesterday in marriage counseling, verse 21,
Mhm.
that says, submitting to one another in fear of God. And I wonder why we don't start from there. Because one of the things that it brings out is in terms of the marital relationship that I love my wife because of the love that comes from God.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, in other words, I really can't love my wife truly if I don't love God.
Mhm.
And the same idea with wives, submit to your husbands. if you are not willing to submit to God, then you will not be able to submit to your husband.
Yeah.
And so just as both of you said, that the core of a healthy marital relationship is centered around God.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
he is the beginning and the end.
True.
Hmm.
Right? And it just dawned on me that if we are focused on pleasing God with everything, and as Kerry just said a while ago, what was the phrase you used again, Kerry? And your new
Choosing God
choosing God
every day.
Every
Yeah,
day.
choosing
every
God.
day. If we choose God every day in our relationships, why we would have so much more healthier marriages, isn't it?
Yeah. I like to reflect on the fact that God created man, He created woman, and He created marriage. He created man to serve Him, He created woman to serve Him, and He created
Hmm.
marriage to be an avenue of service to Him as well.
Yes,
And
true,
so,
true.
if we can get it right as individuals in terms of our submission to God, then it creates the framework for the marriage to work, because the marriage will also be submitted to God and
Yes,
thing. And yeah, the passage is right. And when I go to Ephesians, I like 21. I like
yes,
21. If you start with two people who submit to God first and then to
yes.
each other, then it makes it so much easier for the wife to submit to the husband,
True,
you know,
true, true.
because he's aware of the fact that he must first submit to God. And if he's
That's right.
submitting to God, then it's much easier for the wife,
Yes.
and thing. And then I
If
always remind her that I'm asked to give my body. So
you know.
she just has to submit, but I have to give my body.
Entire body.
And
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
If we are bent on submitting to God first, then there is no room for selfishness.
that's right.
Mhm.
And that thing just struck me yesterday like a ton of bricks. That God is where it begins.
And it,
Yes,
yeah, and it ends
always,
there too.
always.
Yes, all
Beginning and
all,
the end.
fo- all focus must be on God,
Yeah,
and I think that is where the problem lies many times. Is that we kind of bring God into the picture when the problems come, when God should have been there
yeah,
before anything. But
yeah.
that's another discussion. We'll probably pick up that in 2025. But it's interesting. Who's likely to remember anniversaries and birthdays?
So,
Let's
so
hear.
Kerry is the one with the great memory. But I would not forget. I will not
I know,
forget. I will
I
not
know
forget.
we should
But
have one.
Kerry is the one with the great memory, but I don't think any of us would forget.
None of us.
Yes.
Not
Yeah, it always impressed
At
me
least
personally.
our birthdays and
average.
anniversaries. We might forget the children, we might forget parents and everything else, but we won't
Forget
forget each
ours. No,
other.
no, no, no,
You,
no,
you
no.
know, one of the things that always strike me about Kerry and Raquel and Mommy is they celebrate everything.
Yes, man.
Everything deserves a
Yes,
celebration,
life is short.
right? And you know, I think that is one of the things that I had to get used to
Mm,
when Raquel and I started dating and when we got married, because my family background, I mean, we were not necessarily big on celebrations. Yeah, you remember your birthday and everything, because there were times when my birthday came and I don't remember that I had a birthday, right? But Mrs. Blake is not going to make you forget.
No, sir.
Even though it's your birthday, you might not want to celebrate it, Miss Blake. We make sure
Yeah.
that
yes.
some kind of celebration
Even
going.
even a little muffin with candle on
Even
it.
even a
There
little
you
bit
go.
of
There you
candle.
go.
She's, she's happy that you were born. She's happy
Yeah,
that, so she wants to celebrate that. I love her.
and it is. I think it is something that makes a difference in our relationships. And not only birthdays and anniversaries, because we know those are given, but I think it's also important to celebrate our different milestones in our relationships.
Yeah.
Celebrate our children, celebrate our graduation, celebrate whatever is
It's
important
important
to
to you.
us. I mean, celebrate it. It's worth celebrating.
Yeah,
You-
man.
you-
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Over the years, so year 5, I am saying, you remember year 1 we did this, year 2 we did this, year 3 we did this, year 4 we did this, year 5, year 6, year 7 we did it. Yeah, yeah, man, I see the pictures here. You remember yeah, I enjoy doing that. And
Yeah.
what
Yes.
start what 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 started out maybe as a a short conversation and a whole long night of memories and giggles and yeah.
So we were married on the 22nd of November, so
Mm.
22/11. And I'll get a call, Kerry will like, look at the clock. It's 11:22. Because it's 11 and 22, and she'll celebrate just the time on the clock. And that happens every day.
That's right.
Yes, yes.
Right.
11,
11:22.
11:22.
Yeah.
11:22.
And here's another thing. In 2033, it will be 112233.
So she's looking forward to it. And next year will be our 22nd anniversary.
On
So
the 22nd of
On
November.
the 11:22 on the 22.
there you go. There you
There you go.
go. We can't forget. We won't forget.
No, no.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Because just the humor, the fun. Because you know, I mean, life can get overwhelming sometimes with the children and the traveling and the all kind of things. But it's important. It's important to have fun. And so this evening, we want to celebrate you as a couple. We want to let you know how much we appreciate you, your example, influence that you're having. And just this is this half an hour session is for you, to tell you congrats, to tell you that we wish you all the best, we're praying for you, we're happy for you, and just celebrate you, to salute you as a couple. Um and keep up the good work. And of course, the fact that on this program, we are sharing nuggets, we are providing information for those who are hoping to get married, those who are already married. And I guess one of the things that the next question that we want to ask as well is, how can couples, create a shared vision for their future to inspire hope and commitment, during challenging times, during tough times? Because of course we know we always want to be realistic on this program, that, although marriage is wonderful, marriage is, exciting, it's also hard work. There are also times when it becomes tough, it becomes uh work. It becomes work, it becomes it's so we want to balance it. We want to send a real message about marriage, and actually about life in general too. So what are some of the things what can you suggest that couples can do, to create a shared vision for their future that will continue to give them hope and commitment during the challenging times? How would you answer that?
Um,
Here we go first. I mean, sorry,
Here we go for both of us.
sorry. First of all, we go first.
yeah. So I think it goes back to just, I mean, probably the same things that we've been saying before.
Yes,
We our what we get out of marriage is what we put into it.
Yes, true.
Um, our vision for it is what it is that we want to get out of it. So I mean, coming into it, we had an idea in terms of what it is that we wanted. We were friends, and we wanted to be friends for life. We wanted to be there for each other and to go through life's journey together. um, and so the ups and downs, and we've had ups and downs and things, but we come back to that common thing of wanting to be there together. And I think, as I said, that our friendship formed that base,
Hmm.
and our Christianity is the mortar, the cement that helps to keep everything in focus and settled.
Hmm.
Um, it's going to be harder if you have a rocky base. If you were shaky at the beginning, it's
Hmm.
going to be
True,
difficult when
true.
hard times come to rock back on something or to think that, because your foundation is shaky and thing. Um, when your foundation is your Christianity, when your foundation is a strong friendship, then you can take the rough roads, you can take the hard times, and so on. So my encouragement to other persons would be to try and fix the problems before they start. Try
Yes, true.
and build a foundation at the beginning. Spend time to build that foundation at the beginning. Don't rush into it. Spend time. Find the common things. Try and understand the downsides, or the negative parts, or the things that you don't like about this person. No. Understand the things that annoy you about the person from the onset, so that it doesn't become so much of a challenge later on because you already are aware of that. I tell people there are some very basic things that I have at the core in terms of what I love about Carrie, and those things will remain. I don't worry about them changing. I don't. So regardless of what comes in life, those things remain about her, and so
Mm-hmm.
on. So we've gone through difficult times. We've gone through the loss of loved ones. We've gone through surgeries. Just the whole thing of having children and going through those changes and those challenges and stuff. The challenges with time, with us studying and going to school. Lots of things have happened during our 20 odd years and so on. But at the core of it, we remain friends. At the
Yes.
core of it, we remember that we are Christians and there is an onus on us as individuals, firstly, and then as a couple to retain our relationship with Almighty God.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
so that would be our encouragement that would be my encouragement, at least. She'll give you her part. My encouragement to any couple, find a core that doesn't move. Find a core that doesn't move. God doesn't move. He's fixed. His encouragement to you, what he wants from you, who he wants you to be is fixed. It doesn't move. And then if you build on that foundation, then you'll have something to take you through
Yes.
difficult times when they come.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay, okay.
That's
But
your answer too, right?
that's my answer to what he said. Okay.
Find a
I
code
agree.
that doesn't move.
I agree that you asked the question to suggest that what in marriage can you do to preserve it? But I suggest, as Percival has said, is that whatever it is that will preserve it should be done before marriage. It's difficult to do it during marriage. I mean, not impossible, but
Yeah.
difficult. So the
True. True.
friendship, commitment to God. Ask yourselves, during courtship, during dating, what do you want? What will our marriage look like? What is it that we want?
Yes.
How are we alike? What is a non-negotiable, or what are the non-negotiables?
Mhm.
I remember when we were, dating, and one conversation is, first of all said, anybody, any two people can have a good time together. It's easy for John Brown and Mary Jane to laugh and have a good time. You put two of them together, somebody might find something funny and enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
real test is how you manage the difficulties. How are you both when there is uh conflict? I mean, do you become an ugly, mean person and you say all sort of things when you're angry and your mouth slip, and or or are you unkind, and just during the times when you're not be laughing, you know? Right. So it's important that those things are discussed and sorted out before you get to be married. And I often say to Carrie, I often say, well, if I'm ever asked, if I'm ever asked, what is the secret to marriage? I say, well, you really just you need to marry Carrie. You find somebody who's like, yes, yeah. I feel that way when I read that book. You know, yeah, yeah, just like that. And yeah, I know I'm saying that anecdotally or jokingly, but in fact, um, somebody who you like, you
Yes.
need to like this person. You need to, um, yes, you'll grow to love them and you love them too, but
Yes.
I like Kerry. I
Yeah.
like him a lot. I've
All
told him,
right.
I admire him. I adore him. Yeah, I really do like this guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I love him.
Wonderful.
That's important. You have to like the person. And when there's conflict, you say, him lucky something like him, I'm lucky that I like this guy. Okay, you remember say, I like
You see why she's my friend, though? Yeah.
this
Him lucky say you like him, the truth.
You understand?
She just done him, but she
You
like him.
understand?
guy. Remember say, I
Oh,
like
this has been a delightful
Yes,
conversation.
you know.
Uh, First of all, and Karen, we are very, very happy to have had you on. And this has, guess what? Because you have done so well, don't think it's the first and last time. Because I think that you guys have some nuggets that need to be shared.
Yes, definitely.
And so we will be designing another program that we can bring you on sometime in 2025, God's willing. Because as I said when we came on, that we want to level up your marriage into a ministry that is able to serve the church and to also serve the wider world.
Yes.
To let people understand that marriage is something wonderful.
Yes.
It's not, the society paints this picture that, boy, when you get married, you are down the slippery slope
Yes.
of being but
The beginning of the end.
yes, the beginning of the end. But Raquel and I have been married for 17 years. You are doing 21. Brother Dexter and Giselle 12. Wayne and Nadine were supposed to come on 25
years.
And it must be something special that people stay together for so long.
Yes.
Yes.
And not just that you choose to stay together because of children or whatever,
Right.
but you choose to stay together because, as
You want
Kerry said, you really like each other.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so there must be something special about that, and this is something that we want to bring to persons and let them understand that marriage is still a God-given institution that we should strive for.
Yes.
All right, Karen. First of all, thank you so much for being on with us tonight.
Yes, and I also just want to, share, Pauline is on, and she says, "Big up to two of my favorite people." Big up to two of her favorite people, and she's very happy to be on, and very happy to hear you share in such an excellent way. So we are glad that you're here. This as we said, this is our final episode for 2024, and it's one whole year since we have started this program, and we are celebrating that. We are celebrating you as a couple, and we wish for you all the best. We continue to pray for your success as a family and as a couple, and we also ask that you pray for this ministry, Level Up Your Marriage.
Yes.
We are not done yet, and we just want to ask the Lord's direction as we approach and prepare for 2025, because we are going to be leveling up some more, right?
Yes, level up your marriage week is coming. Yes,
We remember the first broadcast.
Yeah.
You remember your first broadcast, and it's surprising that it's a year already.
Yes,
It's a year.
And,
It's a year. Wonderful.
12 months. 12 months.
Certainly will be our prayer that God will continue to bless you guys, bless your marriage first and foremost, and then bless this ministry of yours.
Yes.
That it will be a blessing to many others, and going into marriage and persons who have marriages already, that indeed God will work through you to bless them. Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Brother Dexter and Sister Giselle, thank you also for sharing with us.
Yes.
And we also want to thank Brother Dexter for giving us this opportunity to use this platform for this program, Level Up Your Marriage. And we are looking forward to doing greater things in 2025 to honor God in this institution called marriage. So wherever you have joined from tonight, whether you are in Africa, whether you are in England or in the US or somewhere in the Caribbean, this is Brother Paul Blake and Sister Raquel Blake coming from the island of Jamaica, living up your marriage. And until 2025, God's willing, we look forward to having an even greater time. God bless.
God bless. Happy holidays and Happy New Year when it comes. Take care.
They can never take the love